So this is the first in a series of videos I'll be doing about Mueller's testimony yesterday. This video is about the fact that it is obvious that Mueller wasn't with it totally and that he didn't write the majority of the report. He was just kind of a figurehead. And this is evident by several times what happened in here. For example, he didn't know that his report specifically on the key question of was there collusion actually said that conspiracy is the name of the crime, but it's synonymous with collusion, and we're saying there is no conspiracy or collusion. He didn't know that. He also didn't know who Glenn Simpson was or Fusion GPS. Wasn't sure of that. And most crucially, the reason you could tell he wasn't with it, everybody knew that the key question the Democrats were going to be asking was, would Mueller have charged Trump if it wasn't for the Office of Legal Counsel's decision that said you can't charge a sitting president? And everybody knew that that was going to be the key question because Barr said, look, basically Mueller said that wasn't the reason he didn't charge him several times in conversations with Barr. And then Mueller came out and wrote this letter. So everybody knew this was going to be the key question. Mueller not only botched it in front of Ted Lieu, but then he had to come out after the break in front of the Intelligence Committee and say, my bad, I botched that answer. Now, this would have been the most, the question that you would assume would have been the most in Mueller's head. And he couldn't even get that right. It was clear throughout the whole testimony that he just had no clue what was in his own report. None at all. And because of that, we now know that he was just a figurehead. He wasn't the one that was doing the day-to-day grind, making the big decisions of who to hire, of who to charge, of who to let go, and things like that. Now, what's always been said about the Mueller investigation was, by the Democrats, Republicans like me have rightly criticized, in my opinion, that it's ridiculous that you have all these people, not just that were Hillary fans on the team of Mueller, but some of them actually worked for Hillary. And the second in command, Andrew Weissman, was actually what was supposed to be Hillary's victory party on election night. That's ridiculous. Picture that this was the other way around. Trump sets up a team that's supposed to investigate Hillary, and he puts Jay Sekulow or Rudy Giuliani as the head, someone who attended his election night party, as the head of the person looking into Hillary. The Democrats would scream, this is absurd. But the way the Democrats covered this was, but Mueller's the guy in charge, and he's such a reputable guy, he won't leave anything happen, trust us, he's on the up and up. He was appointed by a Republican, so this must be all good for Trump. Now, I knew that was nonsense from the get-go because Mueller has a connection to James Comey, who's one of the key people that that possibly could be a witness into Trump, or more likely could be a suspect into possible crimes into an illegal investigation into Trump. And it's obvious that Mueller had every incentive to protect the FBI that he had worked at his whole life. Not only was Mueller his friend, but all these other people in his team were as well. But if we take Mueller out of the picture because we now realize he wasn't making the big decision, who are we left with that's on this team? 14 lawyers that all hate Trump, people like Strzok and Page that were texting about how they hate Trump, people like Weissman that attended Hillary's campaign, people that worked specifically for the Clinton Foundation, Zelby, who was there with he's one of the head deputies of Mueller, who was actually at the Mueller testimony with him. He defended the people that and was one of the people that smashed the Blackberries of Hillary Clinton and defended people on her team from that. So it's absolutely ridiculous that we're now starting to see that Mueller was just a figurehead. He was put up there so the Democrats could say, this guy's extremely reputable. And all the people in the background that hated Trump, they're the ones making the decision. Now, why does this matter, you might say? It matters because we can see that there are double standards that are all through Mueller's investigation. For example, we know that when it came to charging people for failing to register as foreign lobbyists, Paul Manafort, Trump's campaign chair, worked with the Podesta group, who was Hillary's campaign chair's group. They worked together with the exact same foreign oligarchs that they didn't register as a foreign lobbyist. Some reason, Mueller's team decides to charge Mueller as harshly as possible, but just says the Podesta group has to retroactively sign some paperwork and be done. We can see this over and over. For example, we just saw yesterday, and I'll do a video on this later, that Joseph Mifsud, the guy who's supposed to be connected to U.S. and Russian intelligence, that started the whole information with Papadopoulos, was the one who told Papadopoulos, let me hook you up with Russians and we'll find this dirt on Hillary, lied to the FBI 3 times. He wasn't charged by the Mueller investigation, but everyone connected to Trump that lied was charged. So you could see that there was a blatant double standard. And other things like Strzok and Page had their phones deleted after they knew that the IG was looking at evidence of the phones because all these terrible text messages that were happening. And other things like that. So the fact that we now know that this was a sham from the get-go, that Mueller was just a figurehead. He has no clue what's going on. It just proves what a ridiculous witch hunt and what a ridiculous waste this was. This was all about getting Trump, as I've been saying all along. It was all about getting him by any means necessary, and when they couldn't manufacture the evidence to make some legal charge against him, then they decided we'll go with an impeachment charge. That's why Mueller couldn't even answer simple questions like, what? Isn't this antithetical to our entire system that you said you couldn't exonerate him? Can you show us one other time in history where a prosecutor has said, oh, I can't exonerate this person? All the prosecutor does is bring charges or not. So we can see that Mueller was incompetent, and it's just so bad for the Democrats because they've been telling us over and over again, oh, trust us when the Mueller's like Superman. They had votive candles of him. They were singing Christmas songs about him. It's Mueller time. Mueller's going to throw Trump and his entire family in jail. Wait and see. Then the report comes out and it's a dud. And then when Mueller, they're like, well, just leave Mueller tell it in his own words. He has no clue what's going on. This was Andrew Weissman's report. Hillary, the person that was at Hillary's supposedly was supposed to be celebratory party that turned out to be a nightmare. That's who wrote this report. And if it was the other way around, if it was Trump appointing people to investigate Hillary and it was Trump's personal friends that were doing it, the Democrats would scream foul. But the media is totally silent on this. So horrible look for Mueller. Horrible look for the Democrats that put him on such a pedestal. It turns out that he's grossly incompetent or corrupt. He has no idea what's in his own report. It was written by a bunch of Democrat and Hillary supporters, and it's absolutely a sham. And I can't wait, as I've been saying forever now, to get to the actual investigation, which is the intelligence agents and the Democrats and the establishment setting up Trump from the get-go. And we're finally going to start to see through Barr and Durham and other people that investigation. So, hey, thanks everyone. If you like this video, please like and subscribe. I'm going to be putting more videos up about the Mueller testimony and key parts of it here later. So look for that. And follow me at Twitter at NorRobert. All right, thanks everyone. Have a good one.